I can't
But
see
I think
them.
they can raise their hand.
Yeah. Huh. Don't know what to tell you. Maybe you ought to talk to Jerome. Can you take that over to
Yeah.
the phone?
Excuse me just a moment.
Let me go. I need to hang you up, I think.
Well, how's everybody else doing?
Wonderful.
I'm doing fine. I'm at the lake house. So I kind of like the Zoom meeting idea.
I mean, I like sitting out here. I'm by the pond. It's a beautiful area. You can't really tell
Yeah.
where I'm at, but I just assume I have too many Zoom meetings. I'm tired of Zoom, I think. Where are you at, Travis?
I am about to watch my daughter and my son play
Yes.
tennis.
Ah.
So, yeah. So I may look over and be distracted. So I know it's nothing different for me, but yeah, I'll be every so often. And if I'm at the side, so it looks like I'm disagreeable to everything.
Hey, I was trying to reach Jerome.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I can see the board members. I can see a list of the attendees, but I can't see the attendees. So it's just they can raise their hand.
So as long as Gary can see our hands.
Well, no, I think she's talking about
Okay.
people that aren't on the board that are attending.
Oh, okay.
They have to hit
Okay.
a button to know they want to talk, because the only people that are in the meeting that are allowed to talk are us,
Right.
On the board. Yeah.
Okay,
unless they
thank you. I appreciate that.
hit a button that holds up their hand or something and have
Oh,
to be
okay. Okay.
recognized.
I see.
Gary, you should teach a class on Zoom.
Well, and I think that's why they send us those links that are just for
Yeah.
us, not the public.
Just for us. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
Like I said, I attend too many of these things.
Yeah. You.
Okay. Oh, we're past time, thanks to me.
All right. Are we ready to start? Are there any other board members supposed to be logging in? Do we know?
I didn't hear from Robin,
Okay.
or I thought Susan McCowan was going to, but
Mhm.
she may have had something come up. She may be having trouble get in. And Karen wasn't sure if she was working or not. She's having to pull extra shifts.
Okay.
So,
All
Susan's
right.
logging on now. So, and somebody just texted me. Oh, okay. So Susan's trying to log on.
All right. We'll give her a half second, see if she gets up and then call to
Okay.
order. We're running a little late, but that's not unusual in this day and age, I think.
Chalk it up to technical difficulties.
Technology is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
As long as it works.
Yeah.
So,
Y'all give me a half second. I'm going to turn my radio off. We've got a funeral going here in town. One of our school board members passed away. So I've got 2 or 3 units out there talking on the radio at the same time.
yeah, I saw that they were having that funeral today.
Yeah.
We can go ahead and start.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and call to order. And the time is 15:04 according to mine, or 3:04. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
I have.
Yes.
I would entertain a motion. I didn't, unless someone's found something amiss in there. Yes, Miss Glenda?
I found, because I was doing the budget and looking at 2022 and 2021 and 2020 and 2019, I made the minutes of the March 18th, 2020 meeting. That is incorrect.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I think I just read over that and didn't even pay attention to it.
Yeah.
All right. So with that modification, is there any other mistakes anybody saw? I'd entertain a motion from someone to accept the minutes with that one modification of changing the date to March 18th, 2021.
Also,
moved.
okay.
Okay, so who beat who there?
Doesn't matter. Susan made the motion and Travis seconded.
I'll
it,
second.
I guess.
Okay, that
Perfect.
sounds
All
good.
in favor of accepting the minutes?
Aye.
Ms. Felice? All right, unanimous.
Thank you. Okay.
Director's report.
Yeah, again, we had planned to be at West Fork, but because of the spike and I wasn't sure what was going to be happening by this point. I went ahead and changed it to Zoom so that we would be able to have a spot saved for us. So, so I apologize to the people who don't like Zoom, but there's Susan. So anyhow, we've got interlibrary loan up and running again. And I can't hear Susan, but maybe she's not saying anything. We had a problem at the end of June when I was gone on vacation. I had renewed our security certificate on our server. And I was told that it would more than likely auto renew. I mean, that it would just re-up. Well, it didn't. And by the time I got back from vacation on that Tuesday, IT had already fixed it. But because anybody then that had bookmarked our site, then that bookmark was no longer good. And I think there's still people having trouble with that. And I had asked IT if they could put up a thing that said, you know, what you need to do to reset your account. But
So are you saying that I tried to get on earlier this week and I got that message, you know, that security
it's not
message?
secure. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Is that
you
what
need
you're
to do?
talking? That's what you're
Yes.
talking about?
Yes. So if you have it saved in your bookmarks or you've put an icon on your computer or whatever, you need to redo that, delete that one and set up a new one.
Okay.
If you just went to an Internet Explorer and typed in the address, it works fine. It's just if you were going through a shortcut,
Bookmarks.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I have a shortcut on mine, so that would be the deal. I didn't,
Okay.
when I read this, I didn't realize that was the situation.
Yes, yes. So, but I haven't been hearing as many complaints about it. I haven't heard it from the librarians, but I'm sure they're dealing with it too. So, but I made sure I sent out step by step of what people needed to do. Let's see. I prepared and distributed those funding worksheets that you all got, about a month ago, I think. And the county attorney's opinion to making a rider or adding a statement to our funding formula is that it's okay for us to do it. So we have to make the statement with the formula, you know, so that to explain the change. So, but we can do that. We're not bound to anything. So then we had another problem. IT had fixed a problem that they were having, and it caused all of the libraries to have problems. And so what was happening is the computers, their remote desktop sessions were timing out after 10 minutes, which is about the time to walk away from the machine and come back. And then it would drop the printer settings when they log back in. So we have finally, in mid-August, we got all of those problems solved, and hopefully we're good. The SSL tickets are 3 years, and hopefully we won't have any other. They put us on a different policy so that the librarians don't time out. They time out after an hour. which is reasonable. So we also, we have a citizen that's been visiting the West Fork Library and communicating with me. Then we have told him he's been requesting a service that we are not required by law to provide. And I talked to the county attorney, and he is a known person. They've had problems with him up at the courthouse, and I was directed to send everything to the county attorney. I received some more communications today, and I sent those to the county attorney also. Basically, he wants us to publish his materials and keep them on hand so that people can come in and make copies of them. And that's not what we do. And I checked with the state library also, and there's nothing in the law that says we have to do that. So anyhow, I've been documenting, the West Fork police are familiar with the situation. So we'll just see what happens. City of Prairie Grove closed all offices except for the library. And this was about 3 weeks, I think, or a month ago. And they're only working with drive-through transactions or appointments, but the library is wide open. They did put their plexiglass back up, and they're encouraging people to wear masks, but they're closed today because they're getting new air conditioning. So I'm not sure if they'll be open tomorrow or not. I don't know if you read Lincoln's, well, actually, are there any questions about my report? Okay. Lincoln, they've reported on, they got $4,000 from American Rescue Plan, and they've reported on what they are planning to do with that, which is buying materials to fit different needs. They also have 2 new employees.
Linda, I have a question about the grants for the rescue package. Did all of the libraries get it? Were you involved?
Only if they applied.
They had to apply individually?
Yes.
Okay.
Did the library, do you know if the libraries applied individually, or was it a city application that they just got a part of?
The libraries applied directly.
Okay.
I could have applied for everybody, but everyone had different needs. At the time, Springdale was wanting to replace their ventilation system. And so I thought I started to apply for Greenland and Winslow, and it was not enough money really to do much. And so I asked the state library to divide that money among the libraries that did apply.
So the county had a certain allocation? Is that what you're telling us? And that,
yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that was applied per capita. That's the way the state library did it.
Okay.
So Springdale got most of it, but everyone that applied got some. Lincoln got 4,000. I think I would have gotten 400 for Greenland and 600 for Winslow. And I decided that if we could spread that out, maybe the other libraries could get a little more. So Farmington, they're doing, they're open, and they're doing their story times outside and fall programming outside. And see, they got $7,815 from the grant. And Springdale got $56,000. They're still only open 9 to 6 and closed on Sundays at this point. But they've decided to use their money to upgrade their technology for programming, because they expect to be doing more online programming in the near future. So, and Elkins, oh, Karen's trying to connect. I don't see how much Elkins got,
It
but
was
they,
about almost 5,000.
okay. And then I have the West Fork report, and Shannon has asked if she could speak to you all. And so I'm going to see if I can, that's why we're doing this a little bit different today. And let me see if I can get her on here. Hi, Karen. So can't hear you. See.
She's connected to audio now.
Let's see.
Hello.
Okay. Well, actually, I don't see Shannon on here. But
Linda,
yes.
okay, they're gonna hop over here.
We're actually here.
Oh,
Oh,
Same
oh,
room. So no
oh,
worries.
okay.
So I just wanted to introduce our new library director. My husband and I, we're moving back home near our family in Texas. And so my last day will be at our grand opening date, our very delayed West Fork grand opening, October 3rd through 5th, which I'll be sending you all more information on. So since I won't get to see you in person anymore, but maybe I'll see y'all at the grand opening, I wanted to introduce Miss Blair Hollander.
Hi, everyone. I'm Blair. I'm
Hi, Blair.
Hello.
Fayetteville, Arkansas, and I'll be the new director of the West Fork Public Library. So it's very good to meet everyone.
good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Blair. I hope to get down there pretty soon. So, okay, well, thanks.
Linda.
Y'all excuse me for a second. Police department. I am fine. I'm in a Zoom meeting, so I'm gonna have to let you go quick. Thank you, sir. Bye.
I don't know how to end
Sorry
Blair's
about that.
section, but okay. So that was sort of a surprise that Shannon was leaving. We're sorry to see her go. But from what I've heard about Blair, she's gonna be good at what she does, and she's got Shannon to get her started. And but their grand opening is October 3rd through 5th, and she's going to be sending me an updated invitation, and I will forward it to you all as soon as I get it. So, okay, so that's all of the library reports.
All right.
That takes us to finance. And we have the treasurer's report. There's really not anything new in it. If anybody has any questions. So.
The only question I had was preferred office technologies, that's on page 3C6, or yeah. What is preferred office? Is that printers or something?
That's the computers at Greenland and Winslow.
Oh,
Remember we
okay.
talked
Oh, that's
about
right.
the
Yeah, okay, right.
maintenance and the
Right, okay.
and
So why do
on
why do you get three different invoices, or?
well, yeah, it's really weird. Greenland, we get the 2 computers and the 2 printers on one invoice. Winslow, we get the 3 computers on one invoice and the 2 printers on a separate invoice. And I don't know why.
Okay.
So we just pay it and go on. On 3C5, there's a charge on July 6th. It's not really a charge. It is a charge to Brown & Brown of Northwest Arkansas. And that is for the insurance for this building and the contents.
Right.
And then in July, we paid Cox on 3C6 for the 3 phone lines. Somebody's calling. Let's see. And then we paid it. I'm getting to the rest of it, but now we're only paying for one phone line to Cox because the county went to a different fire service and it doesn't require phone lines. And so now we don't have to pay for that. We have to pay only one phone line, and that is for the computer that calls people and tells them that their books are ready to be picked up or that they have overdues. So on 3C7, we hit 3 charges on July 27th at the Grease Pig. That's for oil change, but we have to divide it into materials, supplies, and labor. And let's see.
Linda, out of curiosity, when you insure like the contents of your building and stuff, the books, the contents at Greenland and West Fork, do you insure those, or I know that Greenland insures the building and the shelving and that type of stuff? To be rather honest, I don't know if we've got the-
We pay for the insurance for the materials and the computers at Greenland and Winslow.
Okay.
So
I just never thought of that before.
okay. 3C9 on August 5th, there are 2 charges to OCLC for just over $5,000. One of that, well, the first one is for the first search database that Springdale and some of the other libraries use. That used to be paid by the state library. Last year, they subsidized it. This year, they did not. So we got charged the full amount. And the second charge to OCLC is for cataloging, which are different databases. Let me see here. That's really all I have on the finances. If anybody has any questions or anything. Those are the things that are out of the norm.
Okay. Sitting in the car trying to get through my papers here.
Okay, yeah. And Karen, can you unmute yourself?
Try right and clicking on your name or on that little icon and see if it'll say unmute. Or she may be on a phone too.
Oh, she's on the phone.
On the phone, and yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll just hold hands up. So,
Okay.
does anybody have any questions on, or you haven't gone over the statement of operations? Is there anything on that?
Oh, I'm sorry. The only thing on that is I had to do a line item transfer from computer IT equipment and from postage to cover the cost of what remains of this year's contract with Preferred Office Products. So that's how we paid for it this year.
Okay, but it didn't put us over budget in anything. You just did a transfer.
Yeah,
and
because
didn't have to go to anybody. Okay.
Right. We did, since we didn't do interlibrary loan for more than half the year, we had, plenty of postage.
Okay.
And we didn't need any computer IT equipment. And it's actually, the Preferred Office Management is under Computer Services, line 3003.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else that might. Having trouble spending money for Greenland and Winslow. Part of it is there's just not a lot available out there. And in fact, especially movies, DVDs, there wasn't much production. In fact, they're saying if you plan to buy books for Christmas, if you want them and they're out now, you better get them, because apparently they're having supply chain issues.
Mhm.
And there's just been problems, just like groceries and everything else. So we're going to continue buying, but there's a lower quality level that I won't go below. So that's why we have at this date we have 41%, but only 41% for Greenland and only 50% spent for Winslow.
Your DVD stuff, is it dropping, or is it still the same? Because so many people are streaming nowadays.
Well, there's that too. And a lot of people went to streaming just so
Especially
they
with
didn't have to go
COVID.
anywhere.
And let's face it, you can sign up for Netflix and Amazon Prime and all these others and have
And Disney Plus and see movies that are
multitudes
at, you can see movies that are at the theater.
right.
So, but yes, I think that will have an effect. It's just like the effect that digital music had on CDs.
Right. I don't know the last time I bought a CD.
And we don't, well, most new cars don't have CD players.
True.
But so we've kind of cut back from buying books on CD also. So anyhow, if you're planning on buying books for Christmas, I saw an article yesterday that, of course, this might be the book industry saying, pump us up, but so that brings us to the cash flow. And this time last year, we were considerably less than we are this year. We'll still receive millage in October/November. So I'm thinking the treasurer and I talked, and he thinks our carryover is going to be 1.6 million. And we'll get more to that when we get to budget. But are there any questions about this?
Not for me, anybody else?
I don't.
If we have no questions on that, I'd entertain a motion to accept the financial report.
I so move.
Okay, well,
Okay.
Susan raised her hand.
I second.
Susan Cowan.
Susan McCowan made the motion, Susan Unger second.
Seconded.
All in
Yeah,
favor by show of hands.
And I heard Karen
Unanimous.
a little bit.
I unmuted it. Yeah.
Hi, all
Oh,
right.
look at
I
that.
know, it's like a miracle.
Okay, Susan McCowan first, Susan Unger second. Okay. So
All
then we're back to the
Statistics.
statistics, and it doesn't take much to make 1,083% increase when you only checked out 87 books the previous month, a year ago, or the same month a year ago. So hopefully these numbers will get smaller as we go, because there won't be as much change once we get another year behind us, I'm hoping.
All right.
So, but everybody seems to be making increases, since the libraries are open. They're trying to stay open as much as they can. And it's going to take a while, because people, just like Gary was talking about the streaming, people found other avenues to get their materials or their DVDs. And so I think, it's going to take a while to get the public back. And hopefully we won't have to shut anything down, and we can continue to attract people to the libraries. So I noticed that our ebooks did go down a little bit, though. And I think that's because maybe the offset of people coming back to the library. So we'll have to see what the next couple of months look like. We've had the number of patrons added in June and July came up. That's probably because of summer reading program. Our holds are staying pretty steady, but we used to be like 6,000 the year before last. And of course, we don't have any interlibrary loan statistics because, excuse me, I can't get those till the 10th of the following month. And we didn't start back until September. So hopefully we'll have those next time. And I apparently put 2 pages of that in the packet. So you can ignore 3D4. Sorry about that. 3D5 is the monthly and year-to-date circulation statistics. And as you can see, our year-to-date right now is just less than what we did for year-to-date all last year. So we're up 0.02% over last year so far. So we can only go up, hopefully. I'm going to stay positive about it. Did anybody have any questions about the statistics? No?
Don't.
Okay. Gary, shall we
Yes, ma'am.
start the next order of business?
Next order of business will be the 2022 budget and funding formula.
Okay. On 4A1, I have the budget that I have to prepare for you all. And 4A2 is the funding formula. 4A3 and 4 are the narrative that goes with 4A1 that explains what each of those areas mean and why we have to do it the way we do. And I hope people read over it. But basically, if we have $1.6 million in carryover at the end of the year, by the time we add 90% of the millage, 90% of the state aid, add the 10% that we held back of state aid and millage the previous year, and then we have some other smaller expenses, or excuse me, revenues. And then, so that comes to 4.7 million. We less the Treasurer's Commission and additional county fees leaves us with 4.599 million. Our expenses to the libraries, the money, the library funding is 2.5 million. I'm giving 16,000 to each of the municipal libraries except for Springdale for children's programming. The municipal library funding, when we get to the funding formula, is up over last year. Greenland and Winslow are included in that. So 2.538 million for the library expense. And then for our things that we purchase that benefit everyone, Overdrive, ordering software, OCLC, and the Polaris maintenance for our cataloging and circulation system, that comes to $144,000. The central,
I
sure.
have a question. The Overdrive and e-resources, you up that from, what was it last year?
It was 80,000.
Okay.
80.
Yeah. So let's see. In the OCLC, I'm budgeting at 17,000 because now we're paying for First Search, cataloging, and interlibrary loan, the 3 instead of just the 2 we used to.
And First Search, the only place that's available is Springdale, is that correct?
No, it's also available on our website.
Okay.
Under e-resources. I believe.
Okay.
Then the central side expenses cover salaries for in here, supplies, the maintenance, of the courier vehicle, the insurance of all that. And I'm upping that this year from, I've usually been putting it at 315. I've upped it to 350 because at some point this year, I'm going to hire an assistant director. I can't get the position approved until February. So I can't put it in the county budget, but the money will, I'll be sending a letter justifying the position. And then they will rank it and give us the pay that they expect that they're going to tell me I can pay that person.
And then are you going to do a search or what, have you thought about how you're going to go about it?
I'm probably going to do a search. Yeah.
Like a national sort of search, or, I mean, I guess I don't.
Maybe a regional more.
Because you haven't really, somebody that you have to find somebody that has an MLS, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be that's one of the requirements of the position. So that when I retire, that will either give you all the ability to have that person be interim director while you look for another, or you can decide whether you want to promote that person to director.
Okay.
So anyhow, so that gives central side expenses at 350. The revenues minus the expenses comes to 3.032 for the, I'm sorry, revenues 4.55, expenses are 3,032,558. We have the $62,000 that we had set aside for Greenland that we had done 2015 through 2019. That leaves us with a carryover of 1.628 million. Again, I'm thinking next year's millages will be going up again. That dump truck theory that I have, I mean, the number of dump trucks on Weddington, I know building supplies are expensive right now, but there's a lot of foundation work being done. So I think, and there's a lot of growth here right now too. The house, the notorious house next door to me is now for sale. It went on the market on last Thursday, and between Thursday and Sunday, I would imagine there were 20 or 30 different people that looked at it. And I mean, it was almost like when it was, when they were selling drugs. So, but anyhow, this is the budget that 4A1 is the budget that I present to you because it breaks down things differently than the county requires. And plus it has a partial year of that position estimated in it. 4A2. And
do you need separate votes on the budget and the funding formula?
We've done that in the past. I don't know if it's really required, but
let's go ahead
or put it in one statement.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and see if and take a vote on just the budget itself, not talking about the funding state or formula yet. I know they're part and parcel of each other, but that way,
okay.
Just to me, it seems a little cleaner. I tend to like votes that way, unless someone on the board objects to it.
Well, I don't see how you can do it separately when most of the biggest chunk of the budget is what's in the funding formula.
Right, but the formula tells you how you're dispersing it, not the amount that you have, really.
Whatever, I'll vote for it, but
I mean, it's kind of 6-1 way. Does he have enough coffee for all of us? If someone wants to make a motion just to vote on the budget.
I so moved.
Second.
All right. Travis has a motion and Felicia's a second. All in favor of accepting the budget as presented, show of hands,
Okay.
unanimous.
Okay.
Then on to the funding formula.
Okay. And Susan is right. I mean, it really is a balancing act
Tied
between the
into
two.
it, yes.
Because you can't make the funding formula without knowing what your expenses are going to be. And you can't make the budget without knowing what you're going to give the libraries. And it's a fine balancing act. But this year we had the current census figures. So the people whose communities grew got more money per cap for the millage assessment in column C. In D, that you can see everybody's up. $12 is the lowest per cap. $17.53 is the highest. We're still comparing to Fayetteville because we can't compare to any of us because that won't work. But we can't give out what Fayetteville's got per capita. And so at 90% of the Fayetteville millage, the dollar amount to bring us up to that, all of our libraries up to that percentage of their per capita is $519,000 and $519.49. Then the county aid, well, the state aid comes from the state, and we just automatically divide that between shares between the municipal libraries, and the branches get half a share each. So that's a set amount. County aid is made up from what's left over from doing the per capita and some of the money from the unincorporated areas. And so if you put that all together with the formula, then we've got Elkins is getting $18,000 more. Farmington's getting $17,000. I can't do Springdale in my head, but $200,000. And then the branches, I've given a little less. Well, actually, no, I did give them more. Okay. But it all goes back to the library funding total on 4A1 of 2.53 or $2,538,588. So are there any questions about the formula? I included, well, and I should have put this in my narrative. On 4A10 is the census information that I used. 4A11 are the assessments by the county for the millage. And 4A, no number. The last page is the state aid statement that includes our amount, which is at the beginning of right after the break near the bottom. Washington County Library is listed. So that's where all those figures came from. I decided if anybody needed that information to recreate or whatever. But any questions about the funding formula?
Anyone? If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion to accept the funding formula as presented.
Also move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor by show of hands? Unanimous.
Okay. And I do strive to try and give libraries more each year. I mean, we're getting more money and it's only right that it should go to them. For, I don't even know what pages I've got anymore. I feel sorry for you in the car
Yeah.
trying to figure this out.
Yeah, this ain't easy.
4A5 starts the, this is the line item budget for the county. And you can see the previous year's 2022 is on the far right-hand side. So we are asking for, or we've budgeted just over 4 million or just under 4 million more, not million, 100,000 than the previous year.
I noticed your salary numbers are the same. I thought the county was looking at a 3%.
In our budget, we're supposed to leave it alone and then they will apply it. They have not reached that. They want to approve all the budgets before they start talking about salaries and positions.
Huh.
Yeah.
Seems kind of crazy.
Kind of bass backwards, doesn't it?
But that's what they want. And so, and then they will apply the benefits, as follows.
So will we have to do a new budget if that, and how does that?
No, when you all approve the budget, you approve with the salaries adjusted by the quorum court through their budget process.
Okay.
That's what you've done in the past anyhow.
Yeah, I've never heard, like, I don't remember that ever being said like that, but I'm fine with it. I was just, yeah.
Yeah,
It'll change your numbers for sure.
Yes, it will. It will, but.
I mean, we've got plenty to not worry about.
Right. But we also have part of that's still next year too, the carryover. So we don't want to go too far into that. But anyhow, the departments are 4A5 is for the library funding and our department. And 4A6 is the positions minus the one that I can't add yet. And that's why I had to show that number on the budget that you all see and not the budget that the quorum court sees.
Okay.
4A7 is Greenland and 4A8 is Winslow. And that's what's left after I take their supposed salary numbers out. That's what's left over to buy books and DVDs with.
Okay, so what is on page 4A5 that's the county's budget for the count, or your budget for the county is different from what we saw by the amount of money that you're planning to spend for the
because it doesn't have the personnel figures in it.
Okay, got it. And did you budget for a raise for your people? I didn't compare this.
I did not. But I also don't think that I'm going to get somebody hired for the new position before summer.
Okay.
And so I think we'll be okay.
But if the county gives a raise, it includes all of your people, right? If they
Yes.
give a, right.
Part-time people too.
Right. So your salary raises are basically set by the quorum court. I mean,
Yes.
it is our budget, but when they raise all county employees, that gets us.
Now 1 year, and they don't give raises to their part-time people, or they haven't in the past, but that's one place where I differ. I think because we have
Right.
part-time people that stay,
Right.
I think they should get increases. So all of our employees are included in 4A5.
Okay.
So Now, also with the county budget this year, JP Deacons has asked for justifications for any amounts that are over $5,000. And so I have listed those there. And hopefully they will make sense to the finance committee. And that's it.
Okay.
Now, when I send my packet to the quorum court, which they've asked me to do after this meeting, so that they'll have it for the next finance and budget committee meeting, it also includes justification for the new position.
Okay.
And basically that's so I can retire.
Right.
And to get somebody trained to take my place while the board decides whatever they want to do. So anyhow,
When you retire, do they have, do you cash out sick leave, vacation, all that good stuff? Does that have to be budgeted in, or?
you know, I'm not sure. I'll have to ask about that, but
Our auditor told us, because I'm retiring in 160 days, and our auditor told us just to take it out of reserve and show it as an unbudgeted item, because it only comes up once in a blue moon in our case when somebody
Yeah.
retires.
And that's what has happened in the past, like when Jim left, when Karen, well, actually nobody retired in my service time.
Right.
But yeah, that
Well, like,
I do have a little chunk to take with me.
right, because when you retire, they have to cash you out on your sick. I don't know how the county is on our end. When I retire, they have to cash me out on my sick leave that's built up and all that. If I quit or went to another department, that just goes away. But if you
Mhm.
retire or die on the job, somebody gets paid for it.
Yes.
So they end up paying me they'll end up paying me 5 or 6 months worth of salary when I finally retire.
I have 3 months of sick leave and
Right. So it adds up
about
to a chunk.
currently a month of vacation.
Okay.
So
Well,
but like I said,
if they'll, yeah, it shouldn't, well, you might ask if we need to have a line item or something like that in the budget, or if it just comes out of that. Because we checked with our auditor before I put in my retirement papers to see if we needed to budget for that.
okay. Well, it won't happen this coming year. It won't happen in 2020.
But it's best to know what you need to do ahead of time,
Yes.
Yeah,
and I
as far as the
appreciate-
board
Great.
goes.
Yeah.
All right. So if we've gone with that, is there any other old business that we need to discuss?
Well, now I suggested that we wait to discuss what to do with libraries who aren't funded by their cities
Right.
until our next meeting, just so that we would have plenty of time to discuss the budget. So that's why I didn't put it on old business.
Okay,
So
that's fine with me.
I would make-
6 or half a dozen the other. Anybody else got a comment on that?
I'd say let's wait till the next meeting too.
Okay. When are we looking at for the next meeting?
well, and we don't even have to discuss it then. I mean,
We might want to even wait until the cities have their budget.
that's what I was thinking.
Know what we're talking about.
I think
Yes.
most of your city, I don't know about everybody else. Greenland will present their budget to the council after the November meeting, and then we try to approve it in December.
Okay. Yeah, and I think
By
that a
state
lot
law,
of-
it has to be approved by the 1st of February.
I'm fine with waiting until spring to talk about that, when we know actually what's been
What each
funded.
one's doing, that's fine.
Yeah. But we do need to have another meeting this year. Last year, we ended up having to postpone, I think it was last year,
Yeah,
from November to December. I'd rather not get too late in December just because, well, somewhere between the holidays, I guess. Does anybody have anything that they know of that would keep them from attending? And
Not
again,
right
I
now.
don't know if,
I'm free every Thursday in December, so
and I don't know. I'm still waiting to see what the fallout's gonna be from the ball games and the other mass events that are gonna be happening around here. It may very likely be another Zoom meeting.
Oh, I see.
I
what you're
just, huh?
Yeah, I understand what you're getting at. I thought you were concerned about traffic or something there for a minute, but I
Oh,
understand.
no.
You're talking about COVID.
COVID and, keeping everybody safe, but still getting our work done. And I have to tell you that my staff, even though I can't request that they wear masks, everyone is wearing them. And I'm pretty proud of that, even though we're all vaccinated. But because we're trying to keep each other safe. So
what day are we looking at? You're talking the first part of December, say
like December 9th, or is the 16th getting too close to Christmas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say 9th would be better for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
everybody all right with the 9th then?
Yep.
All right, let's set it for the 9th.
Okay.
Same bat time, same bat place.
And
Maybe-
I probably will go ahead and get a Zoom meeting set up just so that we'll have it scheduled. That means, unfortunately, that they will send you your information when I set the meeting. But then they send it again an hour before. So,
Yep, it's not that big a deal.
okay.
Yeah, my problem is I get so much email from the county that I always lose it before it gets here. But if they send it a little bit before the meeting, I'm good to go.
Yep.
All right.
Likewise.
Well, it's good to see everybody.
Good to
I
see
hope
you.
everybody's been well, and I hope, Karen, you haven't been working too much.
Yeah, I took a couple of weeks off in August, just worked the weekends, but I'm back to more again, but that's all right.
All
Well,
right.
hang in there. We all appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
In that case, I guess we'll entertain someone make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Travis
saw
motion,
Susan.
Susan McGowan second. All in favor? We are adjourned.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right.
Okay.
Well, everybody
Thanks.
have a good day. I hope the rest of your time turns out good.
Very good. You
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Can you scan that, Georgia? Hey, Georgia, can you scan that for me? Can you scan that for me? They approved the budget. We're not going to talk about other libraries again until spring. Yeah, good. Yeah, except I made a the error in the minutes, which I'll have to correct. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. I'll take that home, so I don't,
Did you finally get that worked out?
yes, I just wasn't sure what I
And
needed.
it was hard for me to talk to him and then you
Yeah.
in the other
Oh,
room.
I'm sorry.
What about that time? I didn't think about it. I had the most fascinating phone call while you were on.
Really?
This man named Scott, I don't know how you pronounce it, Rail. And he is, works with this organization, Stories Behind the Stars, which is a effort to tell the stories of the American men from World War II who lost their lives.
Oh.
And he was looking for 4 Arkansas men. I have the family names, it's suggested we call special collections. And he knew the book Fighting Men of Arkansas. And he's from Oklahoma, but he works for this organization. Got online and looked at their website. It is really cool. I was telling about the guy that was just buried yesterday.
Oh, yeah, what do you have to say about
Oh,
that?
that's fascinating.
Thanks for running that. I just didn't find had to remember to do it, and then I would maybe forget to email it, you know. Boy, it all went okay. too. Hi. Hi.
Sorry?
Hi, Sam, it's Glenda.
Hi, Glenn.
Is Jerome around?
No, it's in break.
Okay. Would you ask him to give me a call when he comes back?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Bye. I forgot to get the attendees. Oh. He's on break. I wonder if I can go. The seat of my jeans are wet. They're not. I mean, it's just, it's warm in that room with the door shut.
The door shut.
And then I have adrenaline going.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's that, did you turn the fan on?
I forgot.
Oh.
And well, I didn't really forget. I thought it might interfere
Oh.
with the sound.
Well, I know Gary was there and Susan was, Felicia.
She got on. We got her on.
That's amazing.
I mean, I'm talking about the librarians.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.